on this computer? Yes, yeah. Right, okay. So feel free to kind of ask questions whenever you like. Obviously, try not to have too many people talking at once, so that we can, you know, we can go through things. What I thought I would start with, probably Mr. Jones actually is going to be on here. I think Mr. Jones is going to be joining us soon. So if he comes on, I'll let him in, because we like Mr. Jones, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do, sir.
He's lovely. He's lovely. He helped you, Mr.
Can I ask a quick question, sir?
Yes.
Does it make any difference if I'm landscape or horizontal? Picture-wise.
We'll try it the other way. If you try it the other way, it doesn't make any difference.
No, sir.
I can still see your lovely face, so that's, there you go. Ah, that's better.
Oh,
We can see much more of you now.
that's better.
You do what my mum does. You do what my mum does when I FaceTime her. When I FaceTime my mum, because she's like 84, she puts her finger over the camera because she doesn't understand what FaceTime is. She puts her finger over the camera. And I say, Mum, I can't see you. And she says, but I can see you. And I said, yeah, it's because you got your finger over the camera. Anyway, just saying that.
Yeah, they like it though, aren't they, the oldies?
Yeah, us oldies. Right, okay, so.
I didn't say you.
So, Martha and Tyler, please, honestly, feel free to speak up whenever you want to. Everyone will listen to you. So don't feel as if you're being surrounded by all these scary adults. Okay, you'll be welcomed. Right, what I thought I would do, folks, is go over what is in the handbook here and that is incorrect in here. Okay, I thought that was the best way to start it. Most of it that's incorrect is actually at 10th cut. Okay, so I'll go over the terms. I've written it all down here. So on the 10th cut page, it just says instructor and it says sabum. Okay, now that's not incorrect, but it's not correct either. Okay, first to third degree is called bu sabum nim. Bu sabum nim is the correct terminology. So first to third degree, bu sabum nim. Again, you don't need to write it down because it'll all be recorded, and you can play it back whenever you want to. Fourth to sixth degree is sabum nim. Okay, all right. Seventh to eighth degree is sahun nim, and ninth degree is seisong nim. Okay, all right. So those are the 4 categories for instructor, whereas it says just in the book, instructor, it says sabum. All right, okay, so that's the first thing. These are easy things to correct. There are some things that you're going to get really confused about a little bit later. Okay, moving forward, I think you've heard me say this quite a lot recently. Moving forward is nagagi. I think in the book it says aprokagi, but the correct term for moving forward is nagagi. For moving backwards is dodogi. So again, nagagi, going forwards, dodogi, going backwards. I think in the book it says duiokagi for going backwards. All right, now here's the confusing bit, if you're not already confused already. High, middle, and low. Okay, I think in in our handbook, let me have a look. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it says section. It says high section, mid section, and low section. All right, as far as you're concerned, don't ever say the word section. Just say high, middle, and low. Okay. High, as we know, is Napunde. Middle, as we know, is Kaunde. And low, as we know, is Najunde. But you've known it as high section, mid section, low section. Now, high section and mid section and low section do exist, but they're called something different and they mean something different. Okay, so if you're performing like line work or you're performing patterns, when you're on your own, then you're going to do high techniques, mid techniques, and low techniques. And a high technique, okay, is aimed eye level, okay, all right. Mid technique is aimed shoulder level, and low technique is from the belly button downwards, okay. The section comes in when you relate that to another person. So let's say I'm attacking Tyler. Tyler's a lot smaller than me. So I'm telling a student to attack Tyler to the low section. That means his low section, not your low section, his low section, or attack to his high section. So his high section on me, Tyler would come up, probably, his head would come up to about here, maybe on me. Is that about right, Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah? So that's the top of his head. So I'm punching here, all right? That is high section, because it's aiming at him. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Everyone's going really, really quiet.
In the case that you're performing, sir, the 3-step sparring number 2, for example,
Mm-hmm.
in that case, you have to assume your high section, and not your opponent's.
No, exactly. No, the opposite. You have to go to their high section, not your height. So their high section. So if you're doing it with Tyler, Tyler's a bit smaller than you, sir. You would punch at your middle height, which is his high section.
Because I think we were doing it the other way, if I don't remember. But let's say I was facing someone quite lower than me, I was going to my high section, even if the opponent was lower.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you're going with somebody like Jack Moore, you know, he's quite tiny compared to you, isn't he? If you're doing combination number 1, you're going to punch a lot lower than if you punch towards me, aren't you?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. So that's where the confusion comes.
So the opponent in the 1-step sparring comes with its dimensions. We have to respect the dimensions.
Yes, you have to. Yes, the section will come into play when you're with another person. When you're doing 3-step or 2-step or 1-step. Obviously, in the November grading, as we know, 3-step and 2-step are going to be at a distance anyway. So it's you would go at your height. You would go high. You would go mid. You would go low. All right. You wouldn't have to change the section. Okay.
Yes,
all right. Does that make sense, Mr. Benini?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about everybody else? How's everybody else feeling on that? Confusion. Everyone okay? Emma, you okay? Because again, a lot of this, Emma, might go a little bit over your head.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going with it.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right, Catherine, you okay with that?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Thank you.
And Mandy? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And Heather, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Heather, yeah, I know. I'm going to call people by their name, sorry, because I'll be here all day. So I do apologize if I call you by your name. So I know Heather knows that because we've spoken about it in the classes. All right, now, here's the thing though. There is a name. So we know that high is Napunde, we know it's Kawande, and we know it's Najunde. But there is a name for high section, mid section, and low section. High section is Napun, what's it called? Buban. Okay. Mid is middle section is Kawun Buban. And low section is Najun Buban.
Spell that, sir.
Is what?
Could you spell that, sir?
Yeah, T-H-A-T.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
The old ones are the best.
Yeah, thank you. Hi is Nopun. So it obviously comes from Nupun Day. So Nupun Bubun. Boobun. Okay. And mid or middle section is Kaun. So Kaun. So it's everything without the day, without the Kaun day, Najun day. Okay. Bubun and Najun Bubun. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So 10th cup wise, that was all that was incorrect in the handbook. Okay. Any questions on 10th cup stuff, on anything we've gone over so far? Remember, there's no such thing as a silly question. So if you're not sure about anything, please ask. Right. Now, Emma, if you're you'll get white belts at the grading, and there are levels of white belt. If you come up with your grading and there's a 7-year-old next to you or a 10-year-old, they're not going to be expected to know this level of attention to detail.
Okay, sir.
But you are.
Okay.
Because you've just done this. Okay, so you know, you've got to know as much as you possibly can. Okay,
sir.
now normally Miss Bryant will be asking the theory questions along with a couple of other black belts. So Mom will raise her game depending on the student's ability and age and skill level. So for
Yes,
you,
sir.
because she knows that you're really, really keen and really into your training, then she will push the boat out and she will try and get a little bit more. She'll only do it relevant to your grade. You know, she
Yes.
won't ask you anything that a yellow belt should know or anything that a green belt should know. But as you've known there, if she says, right, what are the 3 heights? And you say, oh, high section is blah, 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 blah. And Mom might say, yeah, that's not actually quite correct because you've said the word section. Do you understand my meaning?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. Anybody else? Any things with that? Miss Bryan, anything? Because you know all that anyway.
No, I don't think so, sir. Could you just clarify what we do in line work, please?
Right, you go high, middle, or low.
Right, okay.
Okay, so it's in relation to your own height. So if you're doing a middle side kick, and this is what I've spoken about before. If you're a world class athlete and you're doing a pattern in the world championships, your middle section side kick has to be shoulder height.
Yeah.
It has to be. Okay. Whereas us mere mortals, the chances are, for me, if I'm lucky, if I can get it over hip height, okay, you know, mine might be mid from here all the way up to here. Okay. But an international athlete would have to be here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Good.
But
All right.
Quick question, sir.
Yes. Go on, sir.
Let's say we need to name in Korean the first move of Saju Jirogi, which as far as I knew was Gununso Kaunde Up Jirogi.
Can I come to that a little bit later, sir?
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, okay, because there's a lot to get through here. Okay, there's an awful lot to get through, and we'll come on naming techniques a little bit later if that's okay. All I wanted to do first of all, Mr. Benini, is just go over the mistakes that are in the handbook. So
No, that's fine. No problem.
yeah, and you got to bear in mind that that was written. I wrote that back in, I think that was a manuscript of like 2003, when I'd not long been out of the TKD. And in the TKD, that's exactly what we called it. But of course, once General Che had come on board, then I just was still doing the old terminology, right? So that's why that in that handbook, I know it's an integrity handbook, but and it was published in 2008 or something, 2010 or whenever it was, but it was old stuff. All right. Okay.
So,
The next.
can I ask a question? Sorry
Yes,
to
of course. Yeah,
interrupt.
yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to issue, if you like, an amendment sheet to everybody that says, okay, this needs to be changed, this needs to be changed, or not?
Probably not, because in that book, in that book, I mean, let's face it. Look who's come. I mean, if we take away Tyler and Rachel, you've got your name, Rachel on it, Martha. If we take Tyler and Martha out, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people have bothered to learn this stuff. There are 100 and it was about 80 integrity taekwondo students. All right, so only 10%
Yes.
are really interested. All right, the others don't,
Yes.
they hardly care. All right, so it's only the really super keen ones that are going to be interested in this stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. The other
Yes, sir.
mistake.
Fine.
Okay, the other mistakes are 7th cup. Okay, and the releasing movement. Now, again, this is confusing because the actual release that's in Dosantul is called Bitro Pulji. Bitro Pulji. But the act of a release is called Japio Solte. So the act of releasing is Japio Solte, all right? But the specific release that's in Dosan is Bitro Pulji. Okay, so it's twisting release.
Spell that, please, sir.
Bitro,
Yeah.
Bituro Pulgi.
Thank you.
Bitro Pulgi. Okay,
Thank you.
so that's the only mistake in the 7th cup bit. Okay, and then 5th cup. Now again, this little mistake has come up time and time again over the last sort of month or so since we've been back indoors. The fact that when we're doing a technique where you lift up in the air, I'm not going to say the word, essentially it's a jump, but jumping does not exist. There's no such thing as jump. Again, in the
Hooray!
book, it says in the book, Twiji, okay? Which, when I was in the TKD, that's what we were told jumping was, Twiji. And we were told Twimio was flying. General Che said that every single technique where you take your feet off the floor is a flying technique. Every single one. Okay, so if you are, and excuse the word, jumping, if you're jumping straight up, that's flying. If you're jumping for distance, that's flying. So the word jump doesn't exist. Okay, the way it's kind of explained is you fly on the spot, or you fly forward, or you fly backwards. But it's flying and not jumping. Okay?
Delete Twiggy now, so that doesn't exist. It's just the flying.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
So it's just flying. So Twimio. So
It's,
anything where your feet come off the floor is Twimio.
Is it, sorry, Twimio, sir?
Twim,
Mm-hmm.
yo. Twimio.
Thank you.
Okay? All right. Okay. And that's all the mistakes that are in the handbook. Okay. Good. Right. Any questions so far?
If you could repeat, please, the translation for Japisol Thai in English. What was the meaning of Japisol Thai?
The act of twisting, the act of releasing.
Releasing.
Yeah, the act of releasing.
Okay.
The act of releasing from a grab. Okay, whereas the actual twisting release is Bitro Pulji.
Thank you.
All right, so if you say Japio Solte, in a way, you're correct, but the specific one is Petropolgi. Okay? Yeah?
Thank you.
So if you were to say Japio Solte, 9 times out of 10, every black belt would say yes, that's correct. Because it is kind of the correct answer, but a more specific answer would be Petropolgi. Now, whilst we're on that subject, there are 5 different types of release. Okay, because in Hwarang, we're in Hwarang and we do the pulling release, when we do the side kick and we pull back. That's called Dangya Pulgi. Tangya Pulgi. Okay.
Spell that, sir, please.
Yeah. P-A-N-G-I-A. Pulgi. P-U-L-G-I. But again, that's an act. It's an act of releasing from a grab. Okay, so it could be deemed as being called Japio Solte. Okay, but its correct name is Tangya Pulgi. Okay, now the other one is later on a 5th degree pattern, so it's not really relevant for you ladies and gents at the moment. Okay, all right, let's do counting. We all know how to count. Yeah, we all know how to count to 10. We should all know how to count to kind of 20 or 30. All right, most of us should do. But I'm going to go over now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Okay, and the way you count it, for those that don't know, we've got Hana, Dul, Set, Net, Tasso, Yaso, Ilgo, Yado, Aho, Yo. Then Yol Hana, Yol Dul, Yol Set, so on and so on. So each time you get to the next number up, you just keep repeating Hana, Dul, Set, Net. Okay, so I'm going to have to read this off my crib sheet because I don't know them off by heart. Okay, 10 is Yol, 20 is Samul, 30 is Soren, 40 is Mahon, 50 is Schwinn, 60 is Yeshun, 70 is Aran, 80 is Yon, 90 is Ahan, and 100 is Pel. Okay.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it?
What are you doing? Siri's on there. He's going mad. Go away, Siri. I don't need to speak to you. Okay, so that's counting up to 100.
So can I just ask you to repeat 70, 80, 90 again? I didn't get them.
70, Aran.
Sorry, what was
Evan,
that? Evan. Yeah.
80, Yon. So it's like John, only with a Y, Yon. 90, An, and 100, Pel.
Sorry, what was that?
Pel.
Right, thank you.
Remember, when the Koreans speak, they don't speak Pel. They don't speak like that. They go Pel. They have a very definitive way of talking. They don't speak in a very clear manner. So if I was reading that in English, it would be Yol, Samul, Soran, Mahon. Do you understand my term? But they sure, it's like they've got a mouthful of spaghetti. It's like that. Okay. It's probably very, very rude of you to say that they got a mouthful of spaghetti, but it's kind of that's kind of the way that they speak. All right. Right. Let's just cater for the kids a little bit now. Okay. You should know what attention and bow and ready, all those words mean, guys. Yeah. Tyler and Martha. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right, so one of you say attention.
Chariot.
That's it, chariot. And one of you say bow.
Kunye.
Kunye, that's it. And one of you say ready. So what's the word for ready? Chumbi, that's it. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. It's fairly easy. Nothing too difficult. Okay. The one thing I forgot to mention in that handbook, where is it? Which page? That page there is really accurate. Those stance names and stance diagrams and dimensions is accurate. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. Okay, right. Any questions? No, right. Okay, I'm going to put that down because we don't need that. Right, Mr. Benini, you wanted to know how to name a technique.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to know whether this new modification into the high section is going to modify the way we name the stances.
Right, okay.
By instance, the first move in Sajurugi, Gunun So, Kaun de Abjirugi, is going to be Kaun Bubal Abjirugi.
Right, okay, all right, okay. No. All right, General Che, when he invented Taekwondo, he assumed that certain things would be, he made assumptions as to what certain things would be. So on that first movement of Sajurugi that you're being specifically asking about, it's Gununso Apchirugi. Gununso Apchirugi. Okay, and he would have it that the assumption was it was middle section or mid. I still call it section, so mid. Okay, but he would just say Gununso Apchirugi, and everyone would know what he meant. If he wanted it to be Napunde, he would say Gununso Napunde Chirugi or Napunde Apchirugi. Okay, those were things that were assumed. Most of the techniques that we do aren't assumed. Okay, but that was one that was. He always would step forward with his right foot, and it would always be a middle punch. Always. When he used to teach classes, it was always middle punch. It was nothing else. So he assumed that everybody would know. So he didn't have to name the height. Okay. Now, when we come to naming the techniques, there is a very specific way that this is done. And I think Miss Bryant knows this. Am I right? Yes. Yes, you're muted, Mom. You're muted.
Yeah, I hope so, sir.
Yeah, okay. Right. You name, in general terms, you name the stance first. Okay, so let's say we're going to do this here in walking stance. You would say Gunun So. You wouldn't say Gunun Sogi. You would say Gunun So. Okay, so when you're naming the technique, you shorten the name of the stance. Okay, when it's the stance on its own, if Tyler or Martha, you get asked, what's the Korean for walking stance? You would say?
Gunun Sogi.
Correct, you'd say Gunun Sogi. But if you're asked what walking stance middle section inner forearm block is, you wouldn't say Gunun Sogi, you'd say Gunun So. So you replace the word Sogi, you shorten it to So. Does that make sense? So, with that in mind, Emma, what's the Korean name for sitting stance?
Oh, no, sir.
You don't know?
Nope.
No, okay, all right, okay. Miss Knight, what's the Korean name for sitting stance?
Anan Sogi.
Anan Sogi. So, I want you to tell me to do that stance and do middle punch.
You may.
Huh?
Anan So. Apjirugi.
That's correct. Anan So, Apjirugi. Okay, so you replace the Anan Sogi with Anan So. Okay, if it's L stance, Catherine, L stance would be?
Yunja Sogi.
Yeah, so if you're telling me to do, I don't know, anything in Nyunja Sogi,
You back up Palmot Mackie.
yeah, so you say Nyunja So first, okay? Yeah. Mandy, give me fixed stance. If you're naming a technique.
Gojon's, what, just fixed answer?
Yeah, no, but if you were naming the technique, tell me how you'd say the stance.
Gojon So.
Yeah, Gojang So. That's it. Okay, so everyone clear that when you're naming a stance on its own, it has to have the word soggy in it. But when you're naming it in conjunction with a whole technique, it's shortened to so. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you have that. So it's the stance, then you have the tool that you're using. For instance, a knife hand or a forefist or a back fist. Yes, sir.
Sir, if we want to be more specific with the stance, whether it's left or right, do we have to put that every time we mention? Or?
That's a good question. I'm going to come to that in a minute, sir. Okay. The general, I want to go through the general order that you do stuff in.
Yes,
and then we'll go to the advanced order, which is left or right, a little bit later, if that's okay, sir.
That's okay.
All right. So again, we're going to go stance, and then the tool might be backup pommel, might be an pommel, might be songkao, might be dongjumok, might be songkut, might be, you know, whatever. Whatever it is, you name the tool. Then it's the height. So it's the stance, the tool, the height, and then the technique. Okay, now this is really confusing because when I was taught Taekwondo back in the dark ages, it was middle inner forearm block. Now it's the opposite way round. It's inner forearm middle block. Okay, so we say it the wrong way round. We're saying the correct thing, but we're getting the order in the wrong order. Okay, so you have to say Gunan So, An Pomok, Kawande, Maki. That make sense? Emma's looking at me going, what the heck is he talking about? It is very, very confusing. But that's the way you name every individual technique.
It'll be fine. I've got no university to do, so this is you know, a new thing.
Okay, now for Tyler and for Martha, if you don't get it in the right order, are we going to be really annoyed? No, we're not, because you're very young. You're very young. You're only young. You're only 11. So we don't expect you to get this 100% correct. But Catherine Wall and Mandy Evans, if you get it wrong, I'm not going to speak to you ever again.
No, teacher, thank you.
Oh dear.
No, bless. All right, you've got to try and get that in the right order. Okay, all right. Now, try being the operative word, and I mean that sincerely. You've heard me say already today, set the word section, because I've had section in my head for 40 years. All right, and to get that out of my head is quite difficult. So if you say it in the wrong order, you say it in the wrong order. It's not going to stop you from passing the grading, but try and understand that that's the order that General Che wanted it to be done in. Okay, all right. Because I think I've told people this story. When I went to, who's the founder of Taekwondo? Martha?
General Chong K.
Yeah, General Che Hong Hee.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyler, do you know who brought Taekwondo to the UK? Any idea?
No.
Oh, okay. Miss Knight, who brought Taekwondo to the UK? Do you know, Mom? No? Okay. Mrs. White, do you know? No? Okay. Mr. Benini.
General Che?
No? Mr. Benini, you know, don't you, sir? No? Okay. Miss Bryant, you know.
Grandmaster Riki Ha, sir.
Yeah, Grandmaster Riki Ha brought Taekwondo to the UK in August 1960. Yeah, August 1967 or July 1967. Can't remember what month. All right, and I went and did a seminar with him in his home in Glasgow in 2017, I think, about this time of the year, September, October 2017. And I knew the Grandmaster that was arranging it all. I'd known him for a long time, and he invited me to come. And he had when I arrived, he said, "Malcolm, come. If you come with me, come with me. You're going to come and meet." I won't tell you the name he called him, but you're going to come and meet Grandmaster Ree. And I thought, oh my God, because the last time I met Grandmaster Ree was in 1983 when he graded me for my first cup. That's the last time I saw him. All right, so he obviously didn't know who I was, and he said, "Who is this man?" And I said, "Oh, this is Master Jones." Master? I haven't promoted him. Who is he? And he was very, very austere and very strict. And then he softened up a lot, and Grandmaster O'Neill spoke to him, and he said, and he's been around for a long time. I've known him for ages. And he went with the TKD, and he said, "Oh, TKD, oh, very bad, not taekwondo. No, they, you know, and all this sort of stuff." And then he took a liking to me. He took a liking to me, and we were joking and laughing and stuff. And he said, "You come teach." So I went out in front of all these people, and he said, "You teach." And I taught the way that I thought taekwondo and you know, had to be said. And he kept going like this. He kept hitting me. Kept going, "Why are you doing it wrong? Why?" Oh, he was really bashing the heck out of me. And I spoke to people afterwards, and they said he only hits people that he likes. If you get it wrong, he just gets really angry. But if you get it wrong and he likes you, he'll hit you. So he kept going, "No, why are you doing that? No, why do you keep doing that?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but that's the way I was taught." So, yeah, because I was saying middle inner forearm block. And he said, "No, no, 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 no. It's not middle inner forearm block. It's inner forearm middle block. Why do you keep saying it wrong?" I said, "Well, I was in the TGB, sir." "Oh, right. Well, that explains it. You know, boom, 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 boom." And so I was saying the right thing, but in the wrong order. Okay. All right. So if you're asked in your grading and you get it in the wrong order, it's not the end of the world, unless it's Mr. Benini, because he's going for 3rd degree. So he has to get it exactly right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now the advanced.
Sir, but
Yeah. Go on.
just to confirm, it's the stance, the tool, and the height.
Yes. And then the technique.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. That's the general way of naming it. That's the general way of naming it. Okay. However, as Mr. Benini said, what happens if you say left or right? So therefore, left goes before the stance, left or right. So it's left or right, then the stance, then the tool, then the height, then either obverse or reverse, and then the technique. So that's the advanced version. Does that make sense, Mrs. White?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're going yes, sir, but you're thinking, right, that's way too complicated.
I've written it down.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. Again, this all recorded,
sir.
so you can listen to it. So it would be left or right first, Mr. Benini, then the stance, tool, height, then obverse, reverse, and then the technique.
Yes, sir.
That's the really, you know, the really advanced version of it, if you like. Is that okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Right, okay, we've got that. Okay, right. Good news or bad news?
Good news, sir.
Good, right, okay. I've got a new technique for you. In Do Santo, when we do the turn after movement number 2, okay, we know it as Dwell Tolo. It's actually Gujari Dolji. Gujari Dolji. So it's a spot turn, not an about turn. Spot turn. Okay.
Spell that, sir, please.
Gujaridolgi.
Thank you.
Okay, and that occurs in Dosan and Chungmu, and for the black belts in Quebec. Okay, so it's not called Duatoro, it's called Gujaridolgi. Okay, Miss Bryant, you got that, Mom?
I have, sir. Whereabouts in Quebec is that? Sir?
Quebec. Okay. Yeah. Where are we? Quebec. Quebec. Let me think.
Right at the end.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, yeah.
Chukwemaki and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Benin. You got me out of a hole there, sir. Good. Right, I'm just looking at all my notes here. Got millions and millions of notes. Right, okay, let's go on some motions. Okay. Slow motion, fast motion, connecting motion, continuous motion, consecutive motion, braking motion. Sorry, not braking motion. Consecutive, continuous, connecting, fast, and slow. So a motion is called dongjak. Dongjak. Okay, so slow motion, nurin dongjak. Fast motion, baron dongjak. Connecting motion, iljin dongjak. Continuous motion, yonsok dongjak. Okay, now when it comes to kicking, that's called chara dongjak. Oh, look, Miss Bryant, look, that's picture ears up, doesn't it? Chara dongjak.
Can you give
Sir,
an
can you
example of that,
spell
please?
it, please?
Can I what?
Can you give an example of that, please, sir?
Yeah, if it's turn and kick, side kick with the same
Yeah.
leg.
Thank you.
Chara.
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 Did you
Can you
spell
spell it, please, sir?
Chara twice. Chara.
So that's kicking 2 kicks from the same leg, or
Yes.
a number of kicks from the same leg? Okay.
Yes. Chara. Okay. All right.
Can I just ask something? I'm now
Yes,
confused,
of course.
because I thought 2 kicks on the same leg was a continuous motion.
Yes, that's what I did as well. But I was incorrect.
So what does a continuous motion look like?
Continuous motion is only with your hands.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. So it's only with your hands. Okay. So continuous, for instance, first time it appears is in dangan, like that. Okay. All right. So continuous motion is only with an upper body movement. Yeah. Okay. Right. I can get rid of that. That's done. I can do that. I've done that. Right, let's. It's what? Sorry?
Is that the good news?
Right. Facings or directions. Front, Tyler, is what? What's front, sir?
I'm not sure, sir.
What's front, Martha?
Daughter, either.
Not sure. What's front, Catherine?
Up.
What's side, Mandy?
Yop, sir.
Yeah, and what's back, Mrs. White?
I've forgotten, sir.
Dwit.
Dwit,
Dwit.
yes.
So you've
So-
got front, up, side, yop, back, dwit. However, like in Hwarang, where you're doing this, Hwarang tone, where we're going here, that's side front. So it's not front, it's side front, because it's level with the shoulder. So that's called yop, yobap. Okay, so it's a mixture of up and side, so it's called yobap. Okay, in Toige, when you're doing this, like back fist, That's a mixture of Yop and Dwit, so it's called Yop Twi. Yop Twi. Okay, all right, so there's mixtures.
What's that Hwarang one called, sorry?
Yobap.
Could you spell that, please, sir?
Yobap. Yobap.
Thank you.
And the one where it goes here in Twigay, Yop Dwi. Yopdwi.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Anything else that you would like to ask before I go on to the really, really confusing stuff? Well, it's not confusing, but stuff that I know Miss Bryant will love. But Lisa, Tyler and Martha would probably go, I don't really need to know that. Okay, all right. So I know Miss Bryant will want to know it. I know Mr. Benini will want to know it. Okay, but everybody else, you don't necessarily need to know it. So Tyler and Martha, is there anything that I haven't kind of gone over that you would like to know? No? I'm not sure if that was any use to you guys, because it was mainly aimed at adults and not really at kids. So it wasn't probably as much use for you, but it might be useful for you. Remember, if you look on all the YouTube clips that I did over lockdown, all of this stuff is on there, all of it. Okay, I don't know which one it's on. There's like about 30 different videos and they're all on there. Everything that you need to know is there. Yeah.
So.
All right. So Tyler and Martha, I think it's about time you were getting ready for bed, I should think. So if you guys sign out, and I'll see you on Tuesday,
Okay.
and then we'll go a little bit more confused. Well, not confusing, but a little bit extra knowledge for everybody else. Okay. All right. Is that okay, guys?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Tyler. Bye, Martha.
Bye, Tyler. Bye, Martha.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, now we can get to the nitty gritty. Okay, right, some stuff that I think you might like to know. Okay, the 4 original patterns by General Che. Miss Bryant, do you know what they are?
Dangan?
No.
No, okay, forget it then.
Mr.
I've got it
Benini?
completely wrong.
Okay, Hwarang, Chungmu, Gaebek, and Ulji. So Hwarang, Chungmu, Gaebek, and Ulji were the first 4 patterns that General Che developed. Okay, probably in that book, Mom. It would be in there. It would probably tell you that in that book. Can you just put that up in front of the camera, Mom? That book, folks, that Mom's got there. Can you see it? That is a brilliant book.
It's amazing.
It's a fantastic book.
It is really, really good.
It's done by a gentleman called Stuart Anslow, who's an instructor in London, and he's researched the meanings of all the patterns and everything to within an inch of its life. So when it says Chunji, literally means heaven and earth. There's about 100 pages.
There's so much to Chunji, more than I ever knew.
Yeah. There's a lot of information in there.
It's fine. I couldn't see the name of it. What was the name of it?
Yeah, it's called From Creation to Unification. I can send you the link if you want, Mum.
I can see it now. Thanks very much, Mum.
Honestly, Mandy, that is a brilliant book.
It's got so much in it.
You know, it's just to do with like patterns and Korean history and stuff like that, but it's excellent. It's really, really good. Okay, so we got that. I don't think you need to know that. Yeah, you don't need to know that. Right, what have we got here? We all know 3 kingdoms of Korea. We know that. We know that. Okay, who knows the Hwarang code?
Actually, sir, can I just ask a really basic question? The 3 kingdoms of Korea, apart from the Silla dynasty, the other 2 I can't pronounce. Can you?
Kogoryo. Kogoryo.
Kogoryo.
No, Kogoryo. Again, you'll probably, Mandy, when you hear this back, you'll probably appreciate it more. Kogoryo. And then Pekje. Its first letter is B, but B is pronounced P, so Pekje.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So the Huarang code. All right. Be loyal to your king. Be obedient to your parents. Be honorable to your friends. Never retreat in battle. Make a just kill. So that was the code of the Huarang warriors. So Emma, the Huarang were a group of warriors in ancient Korea that General Che took a lot of influence from.
Okay, sir.
Right? Okay, so that's that. Right, okay. I'm going to read this out to you now. All right, okay. So again, you can take this on board. Just listen, I'll read it out. And again, you know, don't need to write it down. General Che's philosophy and guidelines, which are the cornerstone of Taekwondo. Number 1, be willing to go where the going may be tough and do the things that are worth doing, even though they are difficult. Number 2, be gentle to the weak and tough to the strong. Number 3, be content with what you have in money and position, but never in skills. Number 4, always finish what you begin, be it little or small. Number 5, be a willing teacher to anyone, regardless of religion, race, or ideology. Number 6, never yield to repression or threat in the pursuit of a noble cause. Number 7, teach attitude and skill with action rather than words. Number 8, always be yourself, even though your circumstances may change. Number 9, be the eternal teacher who teaches with the body when young, with words when old, and by moral precept even after death. Okay, so that was the way that General Che felt, but that's not written down in many places, so it's quite useful for you guys to know, and it explains a lot about Taekwondo. Okay, explains a lot about how it's so special. Okay, again, I'm just reading this out to you. 9th degree is Taekwondo's highest belt, because in Taekwondo 3 is considered the luckiest of all numbers. Therefore, 3 times 3 equals 9. It's also interesting to note that when the number 9 is multiplied by any other single digit number and the resultant figures are added together, the answer always equals 9. I've no idea how that works because I'm not very clever, but apparently that's true. All right. Yeah, you know about that. You know about that. Quite often a question that comes up in black belt gradings is, what does the black piping mean around a dobok? Miss Knight, do you know? Oh, I can't hear you, Mom.
Is it because in the old days, people that were rich could get like darker clothing, and black was considered like one of the rich colours? So it shows.
No, unfortunately not. Does anybody know? Yeah, Mr. Benini, you know.
Is it about international instructors, sir?
No. That's what it represents now. It's what it represents. You have the flashes down the side. But on your black belt dobok, you've got black, haven't you?
Yes, sir, on the top.
You've got black, and Miss Bryant's got it, Miss Knight's got it, and Mrs. White's got it. Do you know, Miss Bryant, what it means?
I'm aware that I think black was a colour of royalty.
That's correct, yeah.
But that's about it.
That's what it represents. Represents the royal family in Korea. Okay, so that's why black. That's why the dobok is plastered with black. Right, that's all that stuff.
Sir?
Yes.
Sorry, sir. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
First degrees and second degrees have black piping on the top, on the tunic part.
Yes, and 3rd degrees.
Okay, when does the black stripe down the trousers come into?
4th degree.
4th degree.
Yeah.
And
4th degree.
why, sir?
Right.
Why, sir?
Okay. But when General Che
Sorry,
was
Steve.
no, it's no such thing as a daft question. It's a poignant question. When General Che was alive, he would only promote people. When you were promoted to 4th degree, you didn't get black stripes. You didn't get them down your arms or down your legs. You only got the black stripes if you were a 4th degree and you went on a 7-day intensive international instructors course.
Okay.
Which was, I mean, when you all know when General Che was in the UK, don't you? Emma, do you know? Catherine, do you not know?
I know he has been, but I don't know when.
Right. And September the 9th, September 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whenever it was. The last time he came to the UK, he was in Weymouth.
Sorry, so what year was that?
2000.
Okay.
Year 2000. He came, for the last time he ever came to the UK, he came to Weymouth, to the Redland Sports Centre, believe it or not, in sleepy Dorset. He stayed at the Portland Heights Hotel, and he stayed there. So that was an international instructors course that he put on, but that was only over 4 days. Normally he did them over 7 days, but because he was getting old then, it was 2 years before he passed away. So he came and did a 4-day course for the group that I was in before Integrity, and that was at Weymouth. Yeah. All right. So that's when you got the blue things. Nowadays, people get to 4th degree and they just have a blue stripe. Sorry, a black stripe. Anyway, but in General Che's day, you had to have done, you know, because people these days, there are people getting 4th degrees that don't have a Scooby-Doo. They haven't got a clue. And I can talk frankly now because there's no kids around. They haven't got a clue. They don't understand Taekwondo. They don't know what it's like. They just like sparring. So Taekwondo is such a special thing, and all this terminology here is lost. They haven't got they don't know any of this terminology. All they know is Chunji, Dangun, Dosan, and kick is Chagi, and that's it. They don't know. They haven't gone into the finer details, and that's why we have to preserve General Che's legacy, and that's one of my goals. And when I retire, you know, so somebody's going to take over from me and keep that legacy going. So we don't ever forget what General Che taught people, because otherwise it will just become kickboxing. And I'm not belittling kickboxing. I don't wish to do that, but that's all it will be. It won't have that special meaning that it's got now. And to be honest, it's losing it. Not many people know all this stuff. So it's important that we keep that legacy burning and we keep that fire burning. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good, good. Okay. Right, I'm gonna reel off some stuff here that you might find useful, you might not find it useful, but I'm gonna reel it off anyway. I'll just reel it off. And again, you don't have to write it down because you can listen to the recording another time. Each Dan grade, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, has a name. Does anyone know those names? Oh, Miss Bryant, look at her face. Look at her face. She's going, oh, I'm learning something new. Okay. 1st degree is called Ildan. 2nd degree is called Edan. 3rd degree is called Samdan. 4th degree is called Sardan. 5th degree is called Odan. 6th degree is called Yokdan. 7th degree is called Gildan. 8th degree is called Paldan. I'm reading off a sheet here because I don't know it myself. 9th degree is called Gudan. Those are the Korean names for all the degrees. Look, Mum's, she's happy. Look, she's really happy. Okay. Sliding. When you're sliding, Mikulgi. Okay, so when you're sliding, it's Mikulgi.
Could you spell that, sir?
Yeah, Mikulgi.
Thank you.
You all know what when you do a pattern in your own time and in the instructor's time, you should all know what that is. Koryo no machoso is in the instructor's time. Koryo no opchin is in your own time. You should know that. Right, here's some more new stuff for you. Right, stamping. Stamping, okay, is gorogi dongjak. That's like for W-shaped block, when you're stamping, gorogi dongjak. When you're attacking with a stamp, it's goronmon dongjak. Okay, that's that. Clockwise, shikye banyan. Shikye banyan. All right, and anti-clockwise, shikye bande banyan. Okay. I think that's about it. Moving left, jaro. Moving right, oro. Full facing, on-mom. Half facing, ban-mom. Side facing, yop-mom. That's about it. I've just got one more. Sorry, Mr. Benini. For Mandy and for Catherine, because I asked you this question at one of your gradings. And
would that be the one that you didn't know the answer to, sir?
That's the one. That's the one. The Dobok top, Jigori, and the Dobok bottoms, Baji.
Sorry, sir, can you say the top again?
The top, Dobok top, Jigori, and the bottoms, Baji. Or the trousers, Baji. Right, sir, did you have a question, Mr. Benini?
Yes, sir. You said that full facing is on mom.
On mom.
And for some reason, I also have a full facing John Sin. Does it sound familiar to you? John Sin, right. And Ban Sin, like half facing.
Yeah, no. Well, I've got on mom now. You'll see that each, because I think you've got Master Boss's book, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the ITFs will say it slightly differently. Okay, all this stuff is from Grandmaster Ree. All this stuff is from Grandmaster Ree. Okay, and it's from him. He actually gave it to me personally, and I've got about probably 300 audio files of him talking. But you know, he said to me, he said, please don't actually send it to anybody else. Don't send that audio file. So I made a promise that I wouldn't send it, but I can share the information. The information is readily available, but not those actual files. So I promised that I wouldn't. But yeah, so he calls it on mom, ban mom, yop mom.
That's fine.
Okay.
Quick question, maybe a silly question, but no. all the terminology that we are learning, is it does it come from the proper Korean language, or is an adaptation for the?
Yeah, it's what's called Roman. I think they call it, what is it, Miss Bryant? Roman? Is it Roman? There's Roman terminology or something. Your thingy.
Yeah, it is Roman terminology.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not the specific Korean language. It's Roman terminology that General Che employed. It's, you know,
the letter, but I mean, if someone from Korea can hear us.
Oh yeah. They should understand it. Yes.
It's proper Korean.
Yeah.
It's not something made for Taekwondo.
No.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I think that's it. I think I've bored the hell out of you. Have you got any questions? Let's go around the table because I know Kathy's got to go. Kathy, if you go first.
Yeah, just one question, sir, and I think I know the answer, but the target areas,
Right.
I find those really difficult to fix on. Do we need those for the grading?
Well, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, sorry, can I?
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, it's useful.
Okay, all right, so it's in the syllabus, or it's potentially.
Yeah, it's useful.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Put that picture up again because I always think it's funny. Yeah, I think it's funny. Yeah.
Great, thank you, sir.
It's a bit like the one, the thing out in where is it? Where is it? Well, where is it? What's the guy with the white chalk?
Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, what, Banksy?
No.
You mean the CERN giant?
Yeah, that's it. The CERN
Oh,
giant. Yeah, it reminds me of the CERN giant. Except for, and yeah, I mean, we won't go there because Miss Knight is a little bit younger. Okay, and I can't mention certain things.
He's got
Right,
pants on, sir. It's fine.
It's what?
He's got pants on. It's fine.
Bless him. Okay. Can I tell you a funny story about last night? Well, Emma was there last night, and Emma heard the funny story. We were doing some pad drills, and I was teaching Emma that when you move around, you have to put the pads down. And Emma thought I said to Phil, you have to pull your pants down. It's quite funny. Yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that. Okay, right. So Catherine, is there anything else for you, Mum?
No, that's been enormously helpful. Thank you, sir.
I know there's a lot of information there. And again, you know, you can play it back on the recording whenever you want. But you do need to email me to say, can I have a copy of it?
Yes, sir.
Right? And try not to share it with anybody else because there'll be loads of people that will be, you know, doing that. Enjoy your lovely food, Mum.
Thanks very much indeed. I'll see you guys later. Thanks ever so much, everyone.
Okay, well done.
Bye, Catherine.
Okay.
Bye.
Right, Emma, anything from you, Mum?
No, nothing from me.
Has that put you off?
Has
Has that put you off, Mum?
No, it's only making me buy more books and watch more things.
Because there is so much to learn.
Yeah. It's my new project, isn't it? What am I
Yes.
going to do with time? No, I'm not doing uni.
You never stop learning, Mum.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, Mandy, anything from you, Mum?
No, that's been so brilliant, sir. Thank you. I do have a request though.
Yes.
This has been great, and
can we do it again?
Yeah, really grateful for you doing it. And I was thinking actually, this would be something I would appreciate kind of once every, 6 months to a year or something.
Yeah, of course.
Revisit. That's my special request. But I realise, it's your time. But thank you.
No, it's fine. If I'm honest, I prefer it as a question and answer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've written so much stuff down here, and some of it you might be going, well, I don't really need to know that. I don't really I need to know that, but I need to know this, and I need to know that.
This has given us a lot of food for thought, so I suspect perhaps the next one might well be question and answer thing.
No, that's cool, because I prefer that, because then I'm more instinctive.
Yeah, thank you.
I fly by the seat of my pants all the time, and I never prepare anything, but I've prepared all this stuff, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, here, I've got all this. Whereas if somebody asks me a question, I'll just go, yeah. Or if I don't know, I'll go boom, boom, boom. Mm. One thing that I should have said, which will go to the recording for Catherine and for others, I'm not sure. I think Miss Bryant has seen these videos. Have you seen Grandmaster Danitzi? Mum, are you?
No, sir. You told me about them, but I haven't seen them, I don't think.
His videos are amazing. You need. I'll put a link when I've done this, I won't do it tonight because I'll be tired tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow. His videos, A, he's a 9th degree, B, he's in Britain, C, he's highly educated, and B, he's better looking than me. All right. And no, on a serious note, he does fantastic tutorials, really good tutorials on every aspect of Taekwondo. Yeah, it's amazing. Really clever stuff, and he does it all professionally. It's not like my videos that were done in the gym when I was like, I just woken up and I just, you know, hadn't shaved or all that. And I was going, oh yeah, you got to do this and do that and do this and do that. He's really professional. All right. So, and you don't have to pay for it. It's all the information's there. But I'll put the links. I'll send everyone the links to his stuff. He's brilliant. Highly recommended. All right, Mandy, so that's you. Okay, Miss Knight, any questions from you, Mom? No? Mrs. White?
No, sir. Thank you so much for your time. And we know we can always ask you a question. That's the difference. If you've got somebody that's kind of like, oh, you kind of think, oh, I'm a bit scared, but we can always ask you questions, sir, which is magic.
No, that's fine. You know, I don't always get it right, and sometimes I'll make a mistake. We're all human, you know, we all make mistakes. Yeah, so I'll always do my best. Always try my best. But yeah, I am human at the end of the day. Cool. Okay, Miss Bryant.
Yeah, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Cool, sorry. About Hanelson.
But do you want to stay back? Well, in fact, I'll tell you what, Mom. Can we go last, because you'll need to talk to you about the grading. So, yes, Mr. Bellini.
Yes, sir. Very quick question. All the terminology that we might find in the 15 volumes of the encyclopedia printed in the 70s, is that in line with your point of view?
No, in the 70s, no.
No.
Oh God, it's a great question, sir. I would go by the 80, I think it's 88 version. The 88 version. Anything from the 80s onwards.
Yes, sir.
Because General Che didn't do sine wave pre-80, I think he was about 84. He started doing sine wave.
Correct.
So before sine wave, he didn't, you know, it was all different. It was much more like karate. It was much more karate-ish. You know, the emphasis. It still had the special skills, still had the special, you know, the stuff that I've spoken to you about. But a lot of the terminology changed. A lot of it became a lot more research and a lot more scientific, and a greater understanding. And as people do, don't they? When they develop something, they get more and more. It's like, you know, I hate to admit it, but COVID, people understand a lot more about COVID now than they did, you know, than they did in March, and they'll know more at Christmas as well. And they'll know. So hopefully by springtime it'll all be gone. We hope. But that's because people's understanding of something goes up and up and up. And Taekwondo's it's no different. Got more and more cultured and more intuitive. Intuitive, is that the right word? Intuitive. Is that right, Emma? Yeah. Yeah.
It evolved in some.
Evolved. That's the word. Evolved. Sorry, that was just like I had no idea why I did that. Yeah. All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. Do you want to ask your question now, Mom, and then we'll start. I'll still talk to you afterwards about the grading and whatever.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I've been learning about Hanelson today.
Hanelson. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I've been learning about there's a specific kind of interpretation of it in regards to Kwang A. There doesn't seem to be one in regards to Poan. and there seems to be a general sort of consensus that there just sort of isn't one, to be honest. But I was wondering if you knew more on that.
Right. My understanding of it is in the olden days, when Korea was at war, the generals would wake up in the morning and they would try and the country that they were in, like very marshy areas, and it was really foggy, and they were trying to kind of pierce through the fog with their eyesight. That's my interpretation of it. Some say, oh, it's that they were checking the weather to see what the weather before they attacked, all that sort of stuff.
I've seen it in terms of Kwanghae. It's supposed to be kind of being held captive and then breaking out of kind of chains or handcuffs, and then using that as a sort of a telescope in order to kind of form battle plans. And that was really relevant to Kwanghae, but in terms of Poan, there just doesn't seem to be any relevance at all. And there's sort of a mixture of opinions on whether it was because he was being, you know, a poet and stuff and kind of looking into the future, or whether General Che just decided just to put it in there because he liked it and there wasn't any particular meaning to it. I just wondered if you had any sort of more knowledge on that.
No, I don't, Mom. I don't. I mean, you got that from Stuart Anslow's book, haven't you?
I didn't, but it was from Stuart Anslow that I realised the source was from when I looked it up.
Oh right, I thought it was in his book.
Yeah, it was on a whole Q&A sort of posting online that I saw that was from Stuart Anslow.
It's not blocking out the sun, Mum.
I don't know.
That was one kind of view that Mr. Winton perhaps suggested, that they could have been, you know, blocking out the sun, and then I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think the weather. I mean, it seems, you know, it seems that the weather is.
We're all doing it now.
We're all doing it.
The weather is
ready.
generic.
And you, Miss Knight. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
What I'll try and do, Grandmaster Ree. Right, let me see what Grandmaster Ree says about it. But I can't give you the answer now. But Ree, hello, son. It's so difficult because some of the Grandmasters, like Grandmaster Huang Kwang Sung, spent a lot of time with General Che, and he says General Che said this, and another Grandmaster says no, he didn't say that, he said this, and another Grandmaster said no, he never said that, he said this. So it's really difficult what different people say. But Grandmaster Ree used to have a Facebook, bit like a WhatsApp chat. I can imagine Grandmaster Ree on a WhatsApp chat. But essentially that's what it was, and people would ask him on a Friday. It's called let's call Master Ree and ask him a question. And they would ask. And it was stuff like this. So I will see if I can find out for you, Mom.
Thank you, sir. That'll be, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That'd be really appreciated. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Okay. Right. I'm going to speak to Mom about the grading. I need to speak to Mom about a couple of other things. So I'm going to speak to Mom. As everyone else, you know, I hope you got something out of it.
Wait.
If you want a copy of this, I'll stop recording it in a moment and just ask me for a copy and I will get it done. Probably won't do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. It will have, the end bit will have me and Mom on it. Oh no, I can stop recording, can't I? Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Okay, so brilliant, okay. So thank you, Mandy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Bye.
Okay,
bye,
bye-bye.
Mom.
Bye, guys.
Take
Bye,
care.
Mom.
See you in the week.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, go in.
Bye.